Welcome everyone to my latest Master of Orion Conquer the Stars Revenge of Antares Let's Play. My name is Macsen. In this Let's Play I'm aiming to do things a bit differently to what I've done in my previous Master of Orion Let's Plays. Previously I had played on very hard and extreme difficulty, and I was able to win in a very quick amount of turns via the economic and diplomatic victory conditions. Now that was great, but the downside was I wasn't able to show off a lot of the features of the game within the second half of the tech tree. There's a ton of really cool techs that come in that give you extra weapon types, infrastructure, and some really amazing big ship designs. So I'm aiming to show a lot of that off within this Let's Play. And to do that, what I need to do basically is to go after a different victory condition. So I'm probably going to aim towards the Conquest victory condition, which involves literally killing all of the other races within the game and wiping out all of their systems or conquering them. Now I could go after perhaps some other victory condition like the tech victory, or even the new victory condition that was added within the Revenge of Antares patch, which I believe involves going through a trans-dimensional warp gate and attacking the Antaran homeworld. Any one of those victory conditions will actually allow me to show off a lot of the second half of the tech tree. Yeah, probably Conquest I'll aim for, at least initially. So the actual race that I've come out with to go after that one of those victory conditions with is the Psilon. I believe their traits will help in allowing me to show off a lot of the tech tree, mainly to do with the creative trait. Now what this does is basically give them a huge amount of extra research. Each of their population points that is of their species, the Psilon, gets an extra 50% research. And also they are creative, so anytime you research a tech that has a number of optional techs within it, I believe you get all of them, which is really amazing. I'm not sure if any of the other races get that, I'm pretty sure they don't. So if perhaps I was at war with basically everyone, then it wouldn't matter that I wouldn't be able to trade for techs because I could basically pick them all up anyway. So that's going to be a very handy tech if I'm going after Conquest. Now all of that sounds really great, but there is a downside to the Psilon, in fact quite a few downsides. Their homeworld size is small. Now that doesn't sound much of an issue, but it means in effect they are very slow starters because you can't get much population on their homeworld, and there really isn't much production as well because of that. So it's going to be quite hard to get out an initial defense fleet and also initial colonies. So that is going to be a big issue. And on top of that, they happen to have a low gravity homeworld. So that means I'm only really going to be able to colonize low gravity systems or low gravity planets for a while. There is a technology that you can get later on that allows you to basically negate gravity conditions, but it's very expensive in terms of manual production. And if that wasn't enough, they also have a negative to security, minus 20%. So they are very vulnerable to espionage. We could have our tech stolen off us, or even worse, we could have our planets revolt under us if perhaps a race like the Dalek would happen to be in the game, or someone else who is particularly strong in security or espionage, I should say. So all of those basically downsides really mitigate the benefits from creative. Technologist means that they start with physics, technology, and also artifacts, which is a couple extra in science, which is not all that important, to be honest. So I'd say all in all, long term the Psilons could be very strong, but short term they're gonna be really weak. And on extreme difficulty, which I'm going to be playing on, that could be a big issue because at the time where we're most vulnerable, we're going to be under most threat, and it takes us a lot longer to build up than say the Sakra or the Bullwrath or other quick starters, but we're going to try them out anyway. So let's get going then and select our game settings. Now I'm basically going to select my usual settings, I think, for Let's Play. So I've already set them up, it would seem here. I'm going to play on a large galaxy and extreme difficulty, like I mentioned. The default amount of opponents for this galaxy type is 6. I will add one race on here. We haven't seen the Nolam in any of my Let's Plays yet, and their diplomacy screen is really cool. The developers did a very good job with them. So yeah, that's the settings I'm going to use. I'm going to use the default advanced settings. Let's also randomize the seed. Now there is a intro video that plays coming up, so I'm going to let that play, and also the advisor talks for a bit. So I'll save the game after that and then we'll get started.
From the beginning, the Psilon have looked to the stars above Mentar and wondered. Generation after generation, the isolated Psilon quantums strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding them, to add an iota to their combined knowledge. Now the time has come for the Psilon quanta to go beyond in their search for answers, to travel to the deepest reaches of the galaxy and solve the enigma at its core.
Greetings, Controller. You are the Controller, of course. It follows that I am Moldrid, your cooperator. I'll be assisting you with any and all needs for your projects in the galaxy, and updating any relevant parameters as we get new information, and so on, and so forth.
Okay, fast forward a certain amount of recording time into the future, and it turns out I'm not enjoying this map too much. It's very similar to the map that I played in my last Let's Play with the Nolums. It's got a ton of trashy planets and an isolated start, and the whole point of this Let's Play is to be a bit different from the last Let's Play. So I think what I'm going to do is actually start again. I could re-record the intro, but I can't be asked, so I'll just take a minute to reset up the options. Let's go to single player, new game, okay, Psilon, next, and I'll skip the intro. For the race I picked here, it was Nolums, wasn't it? Large map and extreme difficulty. If I missed anything, don't think so. Yeah, that's alright. Let's randomize the seeds and start again. Okay, right, hopefully I'll be more lucky this time round. I wouldn't mind a non-isolated start, especially if I get a few decent planets for a change. I really don't want to go 2 Let's Plays in a row where I don't get more than... Well, in the last Let's Play I don't think I had a single rich planet in the first 20 odd planets, and that Let's Play would have been... Well, that map would have been the same. So yeah, I don't
Greetings, Controller.
want to play that type of game again. So how does that start look? Well, it's a lot more connections. It's more nearer to the center, so it's probably not going to be isolated. We've got a couple of wormholes there, a couple of wormholes there, so I imagine each of those goes to one of those. Right, that looks a much better start to me, so let's get going again. One thing which I didn't mention before is, even though I haven't turned these off, there are ways for me not to effectively cross the line and win them. I can abstain on a diplomatic vote and to actually win via economic victory, which is a quite quick way to win. You have to buy shares, so I can just abstain from doing that. Right, so first things first, then let's come into the Empire screen. And I'm going to want to have the largest tax rate I possibly can.
Controller, let me interrupt you for a second.
But there's a downside if I were to do that. I don't want strikes. I'm going to have 4 billion credits per turn. Well, let's go and check out our tech choices here.
Controller, our labs are staffed and ready to start researching. What should we focus on?
Okay, so we start with physics, as it was mentioned before. So we got the neutron blaster and the automated factory. If I were able to actually choose a tech to start with, it would probably be that one actually. The next tech I'm going to go for is research laboratory and government support facility. And because of our high tech rates, there may be a few techs that I would beeline early on, which I wouldn't do with every other race, but we'll see if I do that in a bit. So my starting ships,
Controller, let me interrupt you for a second.
I could turn off the advisor, but if you're new to Master of Orion, you might want to read these. Pause and read them if you want to, but yeah, so I won't turn them off. Right, so we start with 2 scouts, frigate, and a colony ship, which is a standard start. There's a very long route down here. I am going to bring 1 scout to there. Okay, so we got some knowledge about that. This one, let's bring it to there, hopefully get some knowledge about this system. Well, we know the name, there's nothing in it. So then it's just a question about where I want to send my frigate and my colony ship. I'm going to have to escort my colony ship with the frigate because of pirates. First things first though, I'm actually going to pay a visit to the blueprints. I want to actually redesign this. So speaking of pirates, although in many ways they are a nuisance and can be a negative, actually destroying the pirate bases can be very lucrative. So I'm hoping to do that early on. And to do that you need bombs, so that's why I'm going to add one on here. You can change your theme as well. So if that one is it. And yeah, we'll stick with that. So I'm going to use missiles early on, which are probably the best weapon up until a certain point in the game, but they're always good. And I'll have a las cannon to finish this off. Let's save that design. So the sniper role means it's going to be taking an automatic long-range stance within combat, which we'll get to see in a bit. Right, let's upgrade that. And now it's a question of where do I travel to? I think I'm gonna come up towards there actually with these. I'm hoping that that will be a low gravity, really amazing planet. It's got a moon. A moon's very useful potentially. If we have a look in the tech tree, later on there's this tech, and since we're creative we will pick up both of these at the same time when we research artificial gravity. So these, yeah, planets and moons are very valuable because of that. And also our low gravity problems will be, well, we'll be able to do something about them with that building. So actually beelining that's going to be very important a bit later on. Right, let's choose our production now, and we get to see our homeworld with the Psilons, and this is basically the worst homeworld in the game. It's low and small. You can only, well, you can see here our production is pretty friggin' awful. There's only 3 decent tiles here. There's really no point in using those 1 yield output tiles. We could also see our amazing population in terms of research as well, a racial trait giving us an extra 50% boost. So that's going to be great. But we don't have any growth bonuses, so it's going to take a while to get our population up in the first place. Don't have any production or money bonuses either, which would have been nice. But yeah, long term the Psilons could be very powerful if I can get them going. Right, so I think that's basically how I want this. Do I want... yeah, I think I'll put one over there actually.
There's new data you should take into account.
Okay, and I think I haven't forgotten anything, so let's end the turn. Okay. Right, well, there's no real reason to bring my scout up there now, so I'm going to actually move it over to there. That's obviously crap, but that's a long way away, so I think I will move the scout over to there. And let's move both of those up here. Scouts are actually slightly faster than normal ships, I believe. So you do want to split them up. Right, let's end a turn. Okay. My aim with the scouts is not really to find out about the planets, it's to actually find other empires so I can get trade treaties with them. I'm gonna make frigates probably to do the kill pirates and also to do scouting near to my homeworld in a bit. I will need a frigate to protect the system I'm going to be colonizing as well in a bit. So let's end a turn. Okay. Right. Let's get moving again then. So there's a wormhole down there. I think I'll move to there first. Let's hopefully reveal that, a name at least. Yeah, it is. And what's in it? Well, that's a Pictor system. I'll probably bring it down towards the wormhole then, actually. That probably connects to there. We know that that doesn't connect to any of those because we're in the system. That's the only usual way you can find that out. Let's end a turn. If I... yeah. Okay. So let's bring that back down here. Okay. And these. Let's get the frigate to go to there. I'm okay with splitting them up at this point. I doubt there's pirates within the system. We know about them.
Controller, let me interrupt you for
Say that
for
and
a
that pops up.
second.
Okay, where is that to? Right, they're over there. So this world is not going to be good for colonizing at the moment. It's not low gravity and it's radiated, which I won't be able to do anything about for a while. Let's try this one out. And sadly, this one looks like a hostile world as well.
I want to see this.
Okay. So it looks at the moment that's normal as well. Yeah, that's not a bad world, but it's not going to be viable, I think, to colonize. So it looks like I chose the wrong option coming up here. I'm probably going to have to bring the colony ship back round. Doesn't make a big difference at this stage, to be honest. It's actually quite difficult to get the colony up and running before you can buy a factory for it. So with this scout then I will actually do some exploration here, since I think I'm probably going to be colonizing this system. That's normal as well. Not having too much luck here at the moment. That world is definitely a gas giant, so you can't colonize that. That's why I haven't looked at it. Right, let's end the turn. Okay. So I think, what am I going to make after that? Frigate, actually. I think I'm going to need a second one. So it's on extreme difficulty. Actually getting up a decent fleet is going to be very important, especially if I have anyone near to me. So yeah, that'll do.
Furthermore, controller, you might want to see this.
Actually, even if I don't have someone near to me, AI does like to bring a decent fleet a long distance away actually and attack people. This difficulty level, so yeah, getting up towards my command points pretty early on is going to be important. Probably make a destroyer fleet. That's probably a gas giant. Oh, maybe it isn't. Alright, that's normal sadly as well. I don't know if there's a way to definitely tell if it's a gas giant or not, but yeah, they're always big. It's just a case of how big. That anomaly, that's... I think I'm actually going to try and pick that up. So let's bring the frigate to there, and I'll bring this back down there. Since I'm making another frigate coming up, it can escort that. Okay. We haven't found anything here yet, though, have we, worth colonizing? So I'm not really sure where I'm going at the moment. Let's end the turn. Okay. Right. There's electromagnetic disturbance. Not sure if that's because it's pirates or it's because of what happens to be there, which I'll talk more about later. Let's scout that out. Is that any good? Normal gravity is not bad apart from that. Yeah, I don't know if there's always like a low gravity planet near to you. When you start off with a different gravity, for instance. If I was Bullwrath, it would be a heavy, but I thought that was the case, and Yeah, maybe it's not actually, because I still haven't found one. So that can go there. Okay. Maybe I should have used that to look at those before going after the anomaly then. Let's... yeah, I probably need to get that up quick, so I think I'll keep that as the way it is. Okay.
Arriving
Found
at the anomaly,
credits.
your fleet spots an abandoned...
Okay, let's skip that, because it takes a bit too long. Automated factory's done, frigate's next in the queue, so 3 turns. That can go to there. That's utter garbage as well. So, yeah, not having much luck here either, but actually, yeah, the planets will be okay long term, some of these will be, but having said that, there's no rich worlds here, which isn't great. Let's keep on going though. So, next turn. Okay. Right, research is done.
Even without me, our scientists have made a new discovery.
The next tech I'm going to go after. Well, I haven't found anyone else yet, so I'm not going to go for xenorelations. What I'm actually going to go for is this tech, which I wouldn't always normally beeline for, but with the Psilon you really need to get your second colony going pretty quickly. This will give me that, which give it extra food, which is nice for future colonies. But more importantly, well, arguably more importantly, the civil transport will allow me to move population from the home system to whatever world I happen to colonize. Whichever world I happen to colonize, hopefully will be a lot better than that. But yeah, I still haven't found a low gravity world, so not sure that's going to be a case or not. Where the hell am I going with this scout then? So I think I'll go there first of all. Okay, that was probably a decent decision. That looks a really good system. I may even colonize that one next. So let's move colony to there in a second. I probably will have to get that frigate out first. Okay, next turn. Yeah, honestly, delaying getting the first colony up and going really doesn't matter until you can buy the factory, though. I'd probably have like, well, I'd have a tiny bit of growth, and that's it. Unless it happened to be an amazing biome world where there's a lot of food, but I haven't found one yet. So let's... well, that's quite an isolated system. That's interesting. There's 2 wormholes right next to each other. Let's come down to there then first. That could connect to there in theory. I'm gonna chuck it through the wormhole, try and find another empire in a minute. I'll go through that one, I think. Okay, so let's move that to there. That's gonna come up there. I'll use this frigate to scout them out in a second. Let's end the turn. Okay, there's pirates. Right, they must connect by the looks of it. Right, so that's a bit of an issue that coming in. Frigate was completed. Let's get out Space Factory. I think if I can actually, I may even, if I delay my colonizing a bit more, I could actually get the colony base on my first colony, which I've never actually done ever before, I think. So that may even be worthwhile doing at this stage, since our tech's so good. Right, that would get it go up and running quicker. So that scout can come down there. That frigate can come up here to escort that. I'm not gonna move that colony ship this turn, then I'll make sure I escort it, especially with that situation. Let's come down here. Is this low? Yeah, it is, but it's tiny, so that's really freaking crap. Right, let's end the turn. Okay. Factory cost is 400 credits as well, which I can't afford still. I haven't got a colony, of course, yet. Pirates are incoming here. Now, they're not going to be able to do anything because they don't have bombs and also have a starbase there, so I'm not worried about that at all. Right, that is a problem. Now I'm going to have to move back my scouts, otherwise it would get destroyed. Okay, let's move that to there. Okay, that's rubbish as well. Right, I think at this stage I'm going to take a brief minute out to have a look at these planets. See if I want to colonize one of them. I might end up coming up here to colonize something up there though instead. Okay, so if you're unaware of what gravity does, basically if I were to colonize any of the normal gravity planets, I would get minus 25% yields, I believe, until I could get those gravity generators, which I showed earlier on, built on my worlds. And since I'm nowhere near being able to get that tech yet, and it's very expensive and yeah, in production on money, I really should be colonizing a low gravity world. But yeah, they're terrible, aren't they, all the ones I could colonize. So I think what I am going to do then is actually have a look here first of all, see if there is another low gravity planet that's half decent there. If there isn't, then I might colonize that world, I think, Audax 4, which has good biome and not utterly dreadful mineral richness as well. That one would be very good-ish as well, but it's got poor minerals. Does that have a moon? No, it doesn't. And that one doesn't actually. So yeah, could have been luckier on planets, but it's already better than the planets that I had in that other attempt at starting a Let's Play. So let's bring these up here then. I'm definitely going to need an escort. So let's also end the turn. And I should wait now until I get that tech to get an extra point in food. I think it costs a couple of money that the colony base does though, so there's a downside in picking that up. That hopefully will go over there, so I am going to send a scout up there. I've got to look around that quite a bit as well, haven't I? That frigate, let's bring it back to here. There's pirates, which I probably need to deal with. That factory's getting made. That can... Well, let's find out what name that system has. If I can know the name, I can know if there's a minor race within it or a major race. The minor races always seem to have the start in the same named system. I don't know all of them actually, but that could have been a minor or probably a pirate. Yeah, the minor races, you only really get the benefits from them if you happen to colonize within the system that they are located though, so they're not that useful really. Just a small nice bonus. Let's end the turn. Yeah, the pirate went over there. Let's bring this back up then. And also, let's bring these to there. So I'm going to colonize, hopefully, that system first, and I'll next colony after that, I'll colonize there. So we got a loop. Well, so that's connected, which is probably important. Still haven't found a major, which probably a good thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not too far away. So I'm going to go through a wormhole. That should increase my chance of finding a major action.
If my calculations are correct, and well, they usually are, this might be important.
Okay, and let's end the turn. Right.
And now,
Ooh.
the news.
Right, that's a
You are tuned
non-event
to GNN,
GNN message, so I'm just going to skip that one. Right. And pirate fleet up here. Okay, that can jump through the wormhole. Hopefully there's some pirates. Nope. Okay, so that wormhole goes to that one. And it's obvious where that one goes. Right, so that can come up here. And that can go and scout that out next turn, but I think at this stage I'm actually going to have to call it the end of the video. I'm probably over half an hour. So I hope you enjoyed this first video of this Let's Play. Thank you for watching. If you did, please help me out by giving this video a like, as it really helps out the channel. It boosts my videos in YouTube's search rankings, and that's usually the way that most people find out about the channel in the first place. So the higher I'm up in the search rankings with my videos, the more people find out about the channel and the more views I get, and the channel does better. So I'm extremely grateful if you do like any of my videos, or even share videos with someone who you think will like my videos as well. Apart from that, if you have any comments or questions, or you just want to say hi, please use the comment section. I respond to questions no matter how old a video is. And also, if you're new to the channel, you may want to consider subscribing. There's going to be tons more content like this on the channel. There's tons of content like this already on the channel, Let's Plays and guide videos. So please check out my homepage or my playlists. In the near future on the channel, I'm planning on doing another Let's Play for Update 3 of Endless Space 2 when that patch comes out, when that update comes out. And also the expansions for Galactic Civilizations 3 and Stellaris are coming out in spring at some point, so I'm also planning on covering those games. And yeah, there's plenty more games that I'm sure I'll be covering during the course of the year as well. If there's something you want to see, you'll have to let me know. Apart from that, if you want to support the channel more than just by watching the videos, then you may want to check out my Patreon page. Patreon is a service that allows people to make a small donation every month, or even a large donation should you wish. Even $1 or $2 extra a month from individuals is absolutely massive for a channel of my size in helping to keep it going. So if you want to see the channel basically still running in years to come, then please check out my Patreon page. And I'd just like to thank my existing patrons as well. Without them, the channel wouldn't be going still. So thank you, patrons. Right, that is just about it then for this first video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.